the chosen one. You felt the block long enough. You felt the invisible ceiling, watched blessings come near yet slip through the crevices. The instances when money nearly arrived but did not. There were moments when you could sense breakthrough energy in the air, but it never completely emerged. You were not imagining it. You were in a holding pattern. But the delay was never your denial. It was heavenly preparation. Your soul was rewired for the huge flow that is now being discharged. The resistance was genuine, but it was broken. Heaven just flicked the switch. The money barrier is destroyed, and the flow starts. No, before we go into it, see this video all the way through. Allow this message to dwell in your spirit, excite your soul, and write your heartfelt intentions. The number 777 appears in the remarks. That simple act connects your frequency with the flow that is now occurring in your life. This is your indication, signal, and confirmation. The wait is done, and the door is open. The current is moving. Now, choose one like this video. Subscribe. If you haven't already, please subscribe and let's get started. There was a point when it seemed like money was allergic to your existence. No matter how hard you tried, how many steps you took, or how effectively you played the game, it seemed like something invisible was constantly conspiring against you. That was no coincidence. It was a mix of ancient energy, ancestral rule, debt, spiritual redirection, and divine timing. But listen carefully. That season has ended. You're no longer trapped. You are not frozen in frustration. The vibe around your money has transformed forever. What used to repel money now attracts it. You didn't anticipate the obstacles, but the beauty is that you didn't understand how near you were to this turning point. The inner transformations you've made, how you've lifted yourself, broadened your thought, and eliminated limiting beliefs have all contributed to the breaking down of that spiritual barrier. This is why money can eventually reach you. Not because you worked harder, but because you aligned more deeply. You became a match for overflow. You began to talk, think, and move differently. And now money is reacting to the real you. Not the wounded version, the hustling version, the desperate version, but the genuine, completely awakened, energetically connected version of yourself. This flow won't resemble a trickle. It will not arrive in parts and pieces. This is a stream that will overflow your world. It's no longer simply about making ends meet. It's about having more than enough. More than enough to inspire another dream. More than enough to bless others without hesitation. More than enough to live comfortably, with dignity, and with power. And you did not ask for this. You did not force your way into it. You just arrived where you were always intended to be. Let it sink in. This flow was not something you had to acquire via unending pain. You were always meant to have this experience. Once you have aligned with your greater truth, the money was waiting for you to embrace your true identity, not only as a worker or a survivor, but also as a receiver, magnet, and conduit of heavenly prosperity. And now that you've assumed that position, the flow has found its way. Don't be shocked if unexpected revenue begins coming. Don't be surprised if you receive checks you weren't searching for. When debt disappears and opportunity appears, folks who were before barred begin to pursue you. This is no coincidence. It's assurance that the energy block has vanished. The flow is not pending. It is active. The cosmos is now in action around you, bringing riches into your life in ways you could not have imagined or planned. This is the time when money searches for you. It does not wait for you to pursue it. You will start to see how your ideas are being sponsored. Your visions are being supported. The divine respects your wants. Your donation provides a source of inspiration and healing for many individuals. Now, this does not imply that you do nothing. It implies you move from a state of alignment, not worry. It signifies that your activities are inspired, not coerced. You are no longer grinding from a state of dread. You're speaking from a position of authority. This is what will stun folks, because they will witness the outcomes. However, they will not comprehend the peace. They'll see you're rising, but they won't understand the calm. That is because you have tapped into divine rhythm. In divine rhythm, prosperity is a byproduct of alignment, the chosen one. It is important to be open today, since money does not always enter your life in the manner you anticipate. Sometimes it flows via new connections. It may sometimes flow via creative discoveries. Sometimes it comes from letting go of something old that has been cluttering your energy channel. You must trust the flow, even if it seems odd. You need to believe that this isn't a trickle-down gift. It's a full-blown celestial release. Get used to receiving. Let it become your new normal. You're not supposed to live with clenched fists, constantly on survival mode. You are designed to live with open hands. Open your heart. Open the channels. Money is not a prize for suffering. It's an indication of energy preparedness. You've picked one and are now ready. You've completed the internal work. Despite adversity, you have remained devoted. You have evolved spiritually. You have released the old tales. And now the money is flowing to represent the progress you've made behind closed doors. The breakthrough is not only financial. It's full of energy. It is emotional. It is generational. The block did not shatter overnight, but it broke at the appropriate time. This is the time because you are now strong enough to manage riches wisely. You're clear enough to manage it with authority. You are grounded enough to grow without losing yourself. You're now at a season when growth does not worry you. It keeps you stable. This is where you establish a legacy. This is where you rebuild every story that told you you'd constantly be struggling. You don't need to persuade anybody of what's going on. The fruit will speak. The flow will appear. You will stroll into rooms, and the energy of growth will follow you. You'll make a single choice and see your bank account grow. You'll express an idea and see doors open without resistance. This is not exaggeration. This is the manifestation of spiritual reality in earthly form. This is divine order, establishing itself in your financials. The chosen one. This is just the beginning. The floodgates are open. The stream has been unblocked. The dam was demolished. Now it is time to receive. Without guilt, without hesitation, and without apology. Allow the flow to become your new environment. Let plenty become your new language. Let riches be the wind behind your wings. Not a burden to bear, but a gift to multiply. Whether you're questioning whether this is really occurring to you. If this is really your moment, the answer is yes. You've reached the threshold. You've entered the zone of heavenly flow. It will feel effortless. And that's okay. Don't reject the easiness just because you were raised to anticipate difficulty. Accept that you have finally received grace since the money barrier has been broken. The flow starts now. A new financial rhythm is forming in your life, and you're learning how to adapt to it. It is not chaotic. It is not unstable. It's not the same intensity you were accustomed to when money came and went as rapidly as it arrived. This flow is consistent, rooted in divine timing, and founded upon spiritual stability. You're not just attracted money. You are creating a money ecology around you. One that sustains you, develops you, and empowers others through you. You do not need to describe the transformation you are feeling. You do not need to justify the gifts you are getting. You do not need to go back and prove anything to people who questioned you when you were still ascending. It was a different season. Now you're in a flow, guided by tranquility rather than performance. And when you stop performing for love, approval, or success, money begins to flow because it is no longer under strain. It's tied to your truth. Money is now coming to your name because your energy has been recognized by the heavenly economy. You are no longer attempting to be someone you are, but rather to survive. That was the older you. The version conditioned by trauma to hustle. The version fashioned by rejection to demonstrate your value. But that version has been cured. That version has been decommissioned. That version was essential, but it is no longer required. You've entered the realm of identity and prosperity that originates from inside. And when you know who you are, you stop pursuing what is already after you. You should cease over-explaining. You cease shrinking. You stop settling. Instead, you go into rooms with the aura of someone who has already been selected, rather than striving to be picked. That is what causes favor to remain with you. This is what causes the unexpected wire transfers to arrive. That is what causes your name to be mentioned in rooms where financial choices are made. This isn't luck. This is a legacy being unlocked. The chosen one. You're starting to notice a shift in how money moves through your life. You are no longer praying for scraps. You're dealing with overload. You no longer want for just enough. You are getting more than enough. This is heavenly restitution for the years stolen and the months you went without. For those moments when you didn't have the fortitude to seek for assistance. God saw it. The cosmos sensed it. And now you've received complete payment. And let's be clear. This isn't a fleeting wave that will vanish in a week. This is a steady flow that will continue to rise as long as you stay in harmony, remain true to yourself, and continue to follow the call. Money does not belong to the loudest or most conspicuous. It flows to those who are most energetically open and spiritually aligned. That's where you are now. You no longer wonder whether you are deserving of prosperity. You understand it's your inheritance. You no longer feel guilty for wanting more. You recognize that your riches benefits more than simply your life. You're no longer sorry about rising. You discover your breakthrough helps those who previously believed it was impossible. This flow isn't just about you. It is going through you to people who are linked to your vocation. Each time you talk, money enters someone else's belief system. Every time you ascend, another selected one realizes their worth. Every time you allow money to benefit you, you teach people that being spiritual does not imply being poor. And being modest does not imply hiding from plenty. Your own presence demonstrates that the flow is genuine. It's acceptable if some people around you still don't understand. Some folks are habituated to the previous version of you. The one who worried and panicked every time the bills arrived. Someone who accepted harmful work or relationships because of financial anxiety. But that version is now gone. You have developed, and your development has resulted in an energy frequency that money recognizes. Yes, money respects alignment. It respects the truth. It respects limits. When you started saying no to things that depleted your soul, you unintentionally began saying yes to the flow of riches. That's when things started to alter. That was when the flow began to make its way to you. And now it's growing. You're going to notice something strong. What used to take a year now takes just a week. What formerly required a miracle will now take just a second. Your manifestation speed is increasing. Why? Because there are no more blocks. There is no longer any resistance. The spiritual conduit is evident. You're no longer working against yourself. You aren't undermining your blessings with skepticism. You're not asking whether you're allowed to win. You've acknowledged that you have been selected. And that acceptance has triggered acceleration. Money is going to enter your life so readily that you'll think you're dreaming. But this is not a daydream. It is fruit, the outcome of unseen work, the recompense for unseen faith, the harvest of seeds you sown in quiet. This is your flow season. Not forced or contrived. Flowed. Opportunities will arise that were previously unknown to you. Business ideas will be quickly lucrative. People with resources will come up, eager to help you. Favor will flow forth from areas you previously dreaded. Rejection. This isn't your imagination playing tricks on you. This is your energy. Finally, work in accordance with your task. You will not have to work hard to be noticed. You will not have to beg to be supported. The proper people, resources, and money will come to you as effortlessly as breathing. Why? Because you've moved beyond scarcity and into sovereignty. No more striving for validation. No more hungry for scraps. You're done with spiritual survival mode. You have graduated. You are now acting as a heavenly money magnet, and the riches is responding. There will be days when the influx seems unbelievable. Get accustomed to it. That is your new normal. And don't feel sorry about your blessings. Don't feel compelled to minimize it or dampen your light. Remember, you paid a price in silence. You faced conflicts that no one witnessed. You went through storms and maintained your faith intact. You stepped up for others when your own spirit was exhausted. So when money catches up with your hard work, rejoice. This is restoration. This is payback. This is justice. And like energy, money prefers to be where it is accepted, safe, and valued. That's who you are today. You are not rejecting money via fear. You are embracing it with trust. You are not afraid of having more. You're eager to do more with it. You're not stockpiling for fear of scarcity. You are stewarding from a position of wealth. That is why the flow will continue, even while others have financial difficulties. You'll be hydrated. Even when systems fail, you will be supported. Even when the world claims there isn't enough. Your existence will be a living paradox since the heavenly flow does not adhere to human norms. It follows alignment, and you, the chosen one, are aligned. Stay in the flow. Don't try to attract. Don't use force. Align. Don't be stressed. Trust. The money block is broken. You'll never move the same way you did before. The tide has turned. The current has shifted. You are not catching the wave. You're the wave. You may not notice it yet, but your energy has completely transformed. The way you talk, how you hold yourself, and how you see money. It has all been raised. You used to think that having money required hard work. You used to believe that success needed pain, worry, and endless work. But you've grown. You have shifted. You've watched beyond the line. And because you dared to believe in a better way, you unlocked a divine rule that was always there to help you. The rule of spiritual comfort. Money isn't coming up due to luck. It's appearing because your energy now radiates permission. You're no longer opposing the current. You're no longer spiritually impeding the flow via guilt, fear, or unworthiness. The heavenly world does not react to despair. It reacts to embodiment. And that is exactly what you have done. You have embodied the truth. You are already deserving. You're already enough. You are already supported by the universe. The obstacle that formerly trapped you in shortage nourished on your skepticism. It fed on your spiritual turmoil. It fed on your conditioning. However, that energy no longer has a place in your field. You've expelled fear. You got divorced. Struggle. You have ignored shame. This is why the financial opposition has vanished. Because the internal resistance is gone. When money meets a peaceful spirit, the floodgates open. This component you are now walking in is magnetic. It is attracting greater levels of prosperity to you. Peace is not passive. It's quite strong. And in your calm, you draw more than you ever did while hustling. This is the irony of divine flow. The less you try, the more you get because your vibration is louder than your effort. Your frequency determines your fate. You've entered a new financial timeline. The version of you who used to have financial difficulties no longer exists. That identity has been shattered. That karma has been cleared. That loop has been terminated. You are moving backward. You're now going with miraculous momentum. And everything before you is rich land. The country you're entering is teeming with undiscovered wealth. Prepare for money to show up in ways you've never seen before. Money made via love. Money by favor. Money comes from the fulfillment of spiritual obligations. Money arrives in the form of miraculous surprises bearing your name. You will not need to persuade anybody. You will not have to show your merits. The wealth that is on its way is already in line with the core of who you are.